Alright, I'm on my way to Manitowoc, Wisconsin, home of the Wisconsin Maritime Museum, which houses the World War II submarine USS Cobia. But before we get to the museum, let me take you on a quick tour of the rest of the city.
Leave me alone, water. You can walk around it. It's kind of skinny, but you can walk around it. Oh, there's a platform on the back. I don't think you can get out there, though. Yeah, that probably wouldn't be safe. Oh, it ends. You can't even go all the way around. Okay.
Now I'm going down a different pier to see the SS Badger come into port. It is an old, coal-burning ship that it goes across Lake Michigan, and it's been in service since the early 1950s, so that's pretty cool. It's 410 feet long, and I don't know, it's a cool ship. Alright, let's move on to the Wisconsin Maritime Museum now, where the USS Cobia is housed. But let's take a look at what else they got first. They have a boat that looks like a torpedo, a boat that looks like it's from Willy Wonka, a canoe with a motor on the end that is also Canadian, a big propeller, a big wheel, a thermostat just out in the open, a bunch of little boats, this lighthouse lens, a victory note, this thing which is kind of creepy, a room that is supposed to simulate being in a World War II submarine, a giant periscope that lets you look out of the building, which would be cool if it wasn't so foggy when I went, a bunch of these nameplates with some other model boats, a little tiny door, a big rusty Lego, a bunch of engines, this cool steam engine that you can control with this lever thing, and finally we are brought to the USS Cobia. 28 submarines were built in Manitowoc, Wisconsin for World War II, but the Cobia was not one of them. It was built in Groton, Connecticut, but is nearly exactly the same as the 28 that were built in Manitowoc. It sits at 312 feet, or about 95 meters long. it sank 13 enemy ships during World War II, and only ever lost 1 crew member, which is a pretty good survival rate for submariners at the time. The deck of the sub is made of teak wood, which won't rot and also doesn't float, meaning that if the sub was hit with a depth charge, the wood wouldn't go up and give away the Cobia's location. There is also this bell, which would have not normally been out on deck and would only be brought out for ceremonial purposes. There is this 3-inch gun on deck, which I got to sit on. Then below, we have the front-facing torpedo room, which has this cool thing. Oh, and did I mention there's also beds on top of the torpedoes? Sleep well. And how about this? There are 9 steps to flush this toilet, or in nautical terms, this head, because of all the pressure underwater. This is one of the places where crewmen would have entered the ship, and at the other end of the submarine, we have the after torpedo room. You can see one of the torpedo tubes there with the battle flag of the USS Cobia at the end, which I got to climb inside. Oh, and guess who designed that little fish? Walt Disney. Anyway, it's a very cool submarine, cool museum, cool trip. Highly recommend checking it out if you're ever in the area. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.